Welcome to another episode of Save Snuffles 101. Today I'm going to be talking about animals and if they have feelings too. The major component of my YouTube channel is to teach humane education. And a huge part of understanding humane education is having empathy and compassion towards all living things. In order to really understand empathy, we have to start with ourselves and our own feelings and our own emotions. In order to have empathy for others, we have to know what they're going through. We have to understand what they're feeling like. And that's based off of our own experiences with our own emotions. So we really need to break down what emotions it is that we deal with on a daily basis so that we can understand what others and animals are going through too. Now, I got this graphic off of teachheart.org. It's a humane education website for educators, parents, families, whoever wants to go to get resources or learn more about humane education. So this graphic breaks down 6 primary emotions. You have sad, mad, scared, powerful, excited, and peaceful. Those are on the inner circle. And then the outer circle wedges break down those emotions even further into deeper emotions, deeper feelings, but essentially they come down to those core 6 emotions. For example, under excited you have playful, or under sad there's depressed, mad there's hurt. And so we understand all of these feelings, but they come into these 6 primary emotions. So many of us understand what those 6 primary emotions feel like. We can recognize those in ourselves typically. We know what it's like to feel sad. We know what it's like to feel excited, to feel mad. And as adults, many of us can recognize this in other people. A lot of us can communicate with words how we're feeling, but if not, you can pick it up through body language, through other vocalizations, and that's part of what it is raising children, is to teach them how to understand their emotions and how to keep themselves in check and how to recognize these things in others so they can have loving relationships with their family and friends. So we can understand that people have emotions because we're people too. We feel them, we experience them, and we know that in all, we're the same on the inside. We all have these deep feelings towards things, towards others. But what about animals? Do animals have feelings too? So I got a book off of line as a recommendation, again, from teachheart.org called Do Animals Have Feelings Too by David Rice. And this is a nonfiction book. This goes over different instances that have happened around the world involving animals and seemingly having emotions that we understand and experience ourselves. Now, this book is great because it breaks down the different emotions that it aims to show children that these animals have experienced. So the first emotion is compassion. I'm not going to go over all the emotions. I really would encourage you to go out and buy the book and read it with your kid. The first one is compassion, and it will give you a little definition of each emotion. Compassion is a feeling of sympathy for others who are feeling sad or in some kind of trouble. So the book is going to break down on each page for each emotion small little blurbs of different times that people have documented these. And so this is stuff that you've seen happen either at zoos or that naturalists have seen out in the wild. And so the big compassion one, especially for people in my neck of the woods, is for this gorilla. This gorilla was at the Brookfield Zoo. If you guys remember, back in the 90s, a child fell into the gorilla pit, and the gorilla in there, having just had a child, its own baby gorilla, I should say, went and helped the kid, pulled him up and brought him over to where zookeepers could get to him easily. And a lot of people wondered, was that gorilla showing compassion for that small boy? And so that's the emotion for compassion. And I would, again, encourage you to discuss how you experience compassion and if you've seen any animals behaving compassionately towards humans or other animals. And when you yourself have felt compassion for yourself or an animal that you know. The next emotion is grief. To grieve means to feel sad and upset when you lose someone or something that you love. And again, the page documents animals that they've seen in the wild that that seem to be experiencing some form of grief. The big message over here is from elephants, and it says, when a member of an elephant herd dies, the herd sometimes stops and forms a circle around it. They stroke the dead companion with their trunks and tear up branches or pull up clumps of grass, which they then lay around the body. They have also been observed forming a circle facing away, as if they cannot bear to look at the face of their lifeless friend. And so, again, it's really sad to read some of these because we as humans know what this is like, what it's like to feel grief, what it's like to feel loss. So, again, I would encourage you to discuss your experience with grief. When was there a time that you lost something or someone that you loved and you felt grief? And have you seen grief in animals? The last emotion that I'm going to point out is joy. Joy is a feeling of great happiness. The big story is Alaskan bison love to skate across frozen lakes, taking turns as they run down a hill and onto the ice. With their legs held stiff and their tails sailing through the air, they spin around and around. When they finally come to a stop, they let out a loud bellow. Then, like eager children, they make their way up the shore and up the hill for another turn. To me, that sounds like they're having fun. So, again, what is your experience with joy? And have you seen animals that seem to be joyful? Now, we may never really fully understand what's going on inside the minds of our animal friends, but I think looking at that book, and even though that book was written a while ago, even doing just a simple Google search, you're going to come up with stories from all around the world, just like that book, of animals doing things that are completely inexplicable. And it really is showing, I think, a deep form of emotions and feelings that they have towards each other, towards other animals, and even towards humans. Well, that's all I have. Please go out and get that book. If not, you can go on to teachheart.org for a lot of other valuable resources in humane education. But thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe it, and share it. Have a great day.